These wild animals have always been known to attack humans, but now we see them sacrificing themselves to save human life in this amazing film. Hello, my dear family. Peace be with you. Today I have brought you the most popular movie called The Wolf and the Lion, which was released in 2021. My family, please help us by liking the video. Without wasting time, let's go to the movie. The movie starts in a zoo where some hunters take a baby lion and put it in a cage on a plane. At the same time, we meet 25-year-old Alma, who wants to be a pianist and really loves animals. One day, she goes to visit an island that belonged to her grandfather, who took care of her after she was adopted. When she arrives, Uncle Joe greets her and she sees a nice house on the island. Alma chooses to stay there for the night. That night, she watches an old video of her grandfather. He talks about a female wolf named Snow who came to the island a long time ago and became his good friend. He urges Alma to look for Snow and make friends with her. At the same time, the baby lion's plane falls down on the island because of a storm. When Alma hears a loud noise, she goes outside, but can't find anything because the island is so big. The next morning, Charles and two young guys from Elinum come to the island. They set up traps to catch Snow because they wanted her to be the leader of the wolf pack on their land. Snow gets caught in a trap but smartly gets away before Charles and his team can catch her. She then sees Alma on the other side of the island. At first, Alma is scared, but she remembers her grandfather's advice and tries to earn Snow's trust. Later, Alma finds the place where the crash happened and sees the lion cub safe and sound, resting in a bird's nest. When the baby bear falls into her lap, Alma brings him home. Snow comes back to Alma's house with her baby cub. Alma is really happy to have 3 animals at home. She calls Uncle Joe, and he tells her that it's dangerous to keep wild animals and suggests that she should take them to the zoo. He also thinks the zoo workers will come to find the baby lion, and they do. When the animal control officers come the next day, Alma lies and says she hasn't seen the baby bear. When she gets home, she finds Snow taking care of both her baby and the lion baby. Alma gives the wolf cub the name Jack and the lion cub the name Dreamer. As time goes by, the cubs become close friends, and Alma spends her days exploring the island with them. Uncle Joe is still worried about the risks of having wild animals, but time passes without any problems. One day, while Alma is at a piano tryout, Charles's team quietly comes to the island and takes Snow. Alma comes home happy about her audition, but is sad to see her house messy. The hungry cubs made the mess. Alma looks around the island for Snow but can't find her. She has to take care of the cubs by herself, so she sadly gives up her dream of being a pianist. Uncle Joe comes back and gets mad when he sees the animals. He asks Alma to take them to the zoo, but she reminds him that her grandfather wanted to take care of these animals. Moved by Alma's commitment and understanding how much the animals could suffer in other places, Uncle Joe becomes more sympathetic. He chooses to help Alma by spending his time feeding and taking care of the animals. They keep being friends and staying alive on the island, honoring her grandfather's memory. Alma really cared for Jack and Dreamer, and the animals cared for her too. A year went by, and both had become strong and impressive animals. Uncle Joe kept bringing meat for them from the city, but Jack and Dreamer were still careful around him. He warned Alma again about the risks of living with wild animals, but she wouldn't let them go. One day, a family came to the island in a boat. When Jack saw them, he started to walk over. Alma saw this and ran to stop Jack, but she tripped on a stone, bumped her head, and passed out. The family didn't see her and quickly went back to their boat. Jack and Dreamer ran to Alma and tried really hard to wake her up, but it didn't work. They shouted for help all night, but nobody came. As it got dark, the animals stayed close to her to keep her warm. The next morning, Uncle Joe called Alma several times. When she didn't reply, he quickly went to the island, worried that something bad had happened and thinking that wild animals might have hurt her. He called the animal rescue. But when he saw Alma passed out and noticed Jack and Dreamer making sure she was safe, he felt sorry for his choice. At the hospital, the doctor said that Jack and Dreamer's kindness had saved Alma's life. Without them, she probably wouldn't have lived. In the meantime, animal control caught Jack and gave him to Charles, who noticed that Jack was Snow's baby. Dreamer was sold to Alan, who was a mean zoo and circus owner. Alan made Dreamer perform by using tough training methods and giving him drugs. But Alan's son Rafa was nice and often cheered up Dreamer. When Alma woke up, she quickly asked about Jack and Dreamer. With a sad heart, Uncle Joe told her what really happened. Upset, Alma left the hospital and went directly to the animal control office. She found out that Jack had been taken to the wolf park. Angry, she yelled at the officer, but Uncle Joe helped her relax. Later, Alma called Charles, and he told her that Jack was fine and had made some friends. Although she felt a little better, Alma was still worried about Dreamer. In the weeks that followed, she looked at every circus in the city and asked about him, but didn't find any clues. Dreamer, now called the Star Lion, kept hurting because of Alan's harsh treatment. One day, while his circus caravan went by the wolf park, Jack saw his old friend and smartly got out of his cage. Rafa saw that Jack was smart and decided to follow him because he noticed Jack was looking for something. Using his cleverness, Jack was able to get Dreamer out of his cage. After being apart for months, Jack and Dreamer happily played together again. But when Alan found out that Dreamer had escaped, he angrily took a tranquilizer gun. Rafa tried to stop him, but Alan didn't pay attention. Rafa chose to help look for Dreamer and told Charles what was happening. Charles then saw that Jack and Dreamer were together and warned everyone in the city that animal control was looking for both of them. Alma was scared when she found out that Jack had a tracker inside him, but Ali comforted her as they figured out where Jack and Dreamer were last seen, which was in a forest. Alma and Ali chose to look for them together. At the same time, Jack and Dreamer walked around the city without restrictions, which made the police decide to order that they could be shot on sight. Finally, the animals went back to the forest and Alan and Rafa saw them. Angry, Alan shot a tranquilizer dart at Dreamer, but Jack jumped in front and got hit instead, falling down right away. The Dreamer got away. Rafa quickly took off Jack's tracker, gave him some medicine, and stayed with him to help him wake up from the medicine that made him sleepy. Later, Alan and Rafa went back to their barn. Alma and Ali got there by following the tracker. Alan told them to go away and said he wasn't involved, but smart Rafa pretended to go to the bathroom and quietly told Alma and Ali what really happened. He led them to the forest where they found Dreamer. Dreamer took them to the hut where Jack was resting. Fortunately, Jack woke up just in time. But when they heard the police coming, Alma quickly let both animals go down a hidden path to get away. The group understood that they just had to cross a river to be safe on the island. Jack swam across easily, but Dreamer was scared and hesitated because of the water. Alma tried to cheer him up, but Dreamer looked away and headed back to the forest. A little while later, a gunshot sounded, and Alma worried that Dreamer had been shot. Sad and crying, Alma arrived at the island with Jack, but then Dreamer showed up. He went back to keep the police busy and was able to come back safely. Happy and excited, Alma and the group celebrated being together again. In the end, Alma played the piano at a party to celebrate Dreamer's safe return. Their family was whole, and the three of them were happy living together on the island. The movie ends here. Please, my family, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Thank you.